Webtoon is home to many talented writers, creatives, and artists who are able to platform their work on such a big scale with an audience willing and ready to lap it all up. I myself have always wanted to do like a dedicated video to the relationship that exists between the two, but for the most part, the dynamic between a creator and the audience is a fairly innocent one. At least it should be, at least that's what it's supposed to be. But what happens when a creator takes advantage of their audience one too many times and manages to somehow get away with this for nearly a decade? We are going to be exploring one such creator and their decade-long alleged scams. But first, my name is Titilola. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. These are the last videos on my channel. I do webtoon related content. So yeah, let's get right into this. But before we do, a couple of disclaimers. First one is all of this is alleged. All of this is very much alleged. I lie for fun. I'm a professional liar. All of this is so everything here, everything that I'm speaking, all alleged, all in fact is a lie. So I'm lying. That's the first one. The second is this all happened a fairly long time ago. The most recent incident was in 2018. So yeah, a fairly long time ago. So this is not a call to action by any means at all. I'm not saying, oh, go and track down the creator, go and leave hate in the comments. No, I never said that. I just like these kinds of things and I find them very interesting. So I just thought, okay, I find these interesting, let me share them. This is not a call to action. This is not to say, oh, let's go. Nah, the creator, it's been a while. This is old news, very much old news. But yeah, disclaimers over. Let's get right into this. Elisa Huang, born in 1992, is a 29-year-old Indonesian artist who has made their name in the webtoon sphere. They first initially released 304th Study Room in Indonesia, with the first episode released on 26th of February 2016. This webtoon was fairly popular, raking in 1.8 million subscribers. The second webtoon this time was released in English. It is called Our Mega Leadership. It has currently around 633,000 followers and 93.3 million views. So yeah, it is doing fairly well as well. I wasn't aware of the former webtoon, but the latter, Our Mega Leadership, I had heard of it. I think someone had recommended it to me some time ago. So how did this seemingly unassuming webtoon creator with quite a bit of reach and a huge ass audience manage to pull a series of alleged scams spanning over nearly a decade? Let's find out. So the year is 2012. Let me try and set the scene for you real quick. I had just come up with the high that was pulling off one of the greatest sleepovers in the year before. I just turned 10 years old. Everybody else started following in my footsteps. Everybody started doing sleepovers as well. We were getting really great songs at that time. We had Payphone, we had Don't You Worry Child, we had Starships, Call Me Maybe. 2012 was a great year for music. But getting back to our story, our creator was going by the names of Pink Stripe Melon, Veronica Diaz, Veronica Liu, Veronica Diaz Liu, or sometimes just abbreviated to just Vero. The Deviant page states that they've had their account for 11 years, which would place that in 2010. Their oldest post was December 28th, 2010. Their Facebook under the name of Veronica did not invalidate that, stating that she had been an illustrator since April 2011. Now, if you don't know what Deviant Art is, it is an online art community where people can platform themselves and they can promote and exhibit and share their art. So you can get paid by doing commissions, which is like an art request in exchange for payment. So you can get paid through the website's own currency, which is like the points that you get. So 80 points translates to $1. You can exchange points, you can gift points, etc. But those points cannot be converted into real money. You can also charge through PayPal as well if you want to use real money. But yeah, so that's a very rudimentary explanation of the site. I haven't really been on it before researching for this video, so I hope that covers it enough for context. The points that I'm trying to get through is that this is a very normal occurrence. Commissions are very normal. Exchanging money for art, that kind of thing, very normal. So that's what I'm trying to drive home. So this is where the problems start to arise. Pink Stripe Melon essentially opened up commission. From what I saw, they did this quite a few times. And before everything came to a head in October 2012, there were already some inconsistencies with like commissions and like money handling. From what I could piece together, by May of 2011, she held a fundraiser for a friend or a mutual, I'm not sure. That mutual was called Curo Alicino, which was apparently going through a really tough time and they needed funds. I actually went on Curo Alicino's post. This was very much corroborated by their own journal. As far back as 28th December 2010, they posted that they were going through some troubles. they were stating that 2010 was the worst year for them. So yeah, this is a very nice thing to do. Some posts have been deleted from Felicia's account, which by the way, I'll be using Felicia and Pink Stripe Melon interchangeably, but yeah, some posts have been deleted from Felicia's account. Literally the link of the details of the fundraiser, when you click on it, it goes to, oh, this page isn't available anymore. So I had to piece certain things together. So you're totally okay to like take what I'm saying for a grain of salt. Again, all of this is alleged. But essentially people donated money to Kuro. By doing that, they all entered a sort of like raffle fundraiser thing. And the people who were picked out of that pool of donators, they got like free art from art volunteers. So Felicia used online item shuffler to pick the winners from the pool of donators, and they were told to contact their corresponding art volunteers so they could claim their prize. So this is a very, very, very sweet thing to do for a person, but a couple of things started to arise. Number one, PayPal closed Felicia's account. Her post alluded to prior known knowledge, so I assume she deleted the post of the details of what actually happened, but she said this happened in spite of her being registered as a legal charity. Number two, as a result, PayPal was withholding the money for 180 days before it released it. Number three, she stated that she had to refund some of the donators' money. Why that happened and why she had to do that, I do not know. Number four, this could have had something to do with Crow's own posts on their own journal. They thanked Felicia for holding the event, and they also thanked the participants, but they're also like apologizing profusely. They said, I'm so sorry for your PayPal, I'm sorry this happened, and they felt really guilty. Number five, again, I'm not really sure what happened to the participants' PayPal accounts for Felicia to want to refund money out of pocket to donators, as well as for Crow to apologize so profusely, but it is certainly worth noting. Number six, if I had to take a guess, I would say that PayPal like maybe flagged everyone who participated in that pool, in that prize money raffle draw thing. They flagged all their accounts, including Felicia's, for suspicious activity. PayPal has been known to sort of lock artists out of their accounts and not allow them to access their money, which makes it especially hard for creatives in that business where sometimes people are living like paycheck to paycheck, commission to commission. So yeah, so I don't necessarily disbelieve that this happened. I just find it weird that Felicia's account was the one where the donations were going to and not just directly to Crow's account. I mean, there was one comment under Crow's post that was like, oh, they're not sure if they're allowed to, but they'll ask their parents if they can send money to Felicia on Crow's behalf. So there's probably a logical explanation for that. Maybe people felt more comfortable donating to Felicia, as that was where the bulk of supporters were coming from, because Felicia did have more like supporters than Kuro, so maybe that's why they did that, but I genuinely do not know. Also, it's important to note that at least one winner did not get their prize in return. User Chelsea2, under the initials winners announcement on May 6th, they commented, yay. Then 10 days later on May 16, they commented that they had reached out to the arts volunteer that they were assigned to, but that arts volunteer had not responded yet. So Felicia responded on the same day, that May 16, and they were like, oh, they're probably busy, they'll contact them personally. Felicia would contact them personally and make sure Chelsea too got their prize. I'm not joking, literally more than a year later, on November 7, 2012, Chelsea too replied back to that comment. I was like, still no reply. So I mean, yeah, there was already some people who were disadvantaged as a result of this whole prize raffle draw. Again, I don't necessarily disbelieve that PayPal didn't do what they did. I do think a certain level of responsibility goes on her to make sure the arts volunteers do what they're supposed to do, but then again, that is a whole lot separate human being. I completely get not being one to be held accountable for other people's actions. You can't really dictate what other people do. I completely actually understand that point as well in Felicia's favor, especially when these are arts volunteers. They're not being paid, they're doing that of their own volition, so sometimes they just may back out. So I actually do get that, so I can't really blame Felicia too much. I just think it's interesting how we start seeing some mismanagement and unfulfilled deals as early on as this. So this is a timeline of some interesting things that are, worth noting. May 26, 2011, someone asks for any updates with PayPal and the special commissions. Felicia replies that she's still working on the outline, she'll color soon, and that PayPal has still frozen her account. Also May 26, 2011, Felicia laments that someone ordered a commission from her. She had started doing the sketches, but then that person completely ghosted without paying any money. And apparently she's not the only victim of that person, and that she is traumatized and that she has to be cautious about accepting commission offers from strangers, which is just very ironic knowing what's to come. September 29, 2012, a little under 2 weeks until our inciting incident. On a post about opening up commissions to pay for general student bills, someone asked, hey, wondering if you started my commissions. I ordered some time ago and I haven't heard from you since. September 30, 2012, same thing under that post. Chelsea2 said, yep, the same Chelsea2 from before said, hey, you still need to finish my commissions. October 11, 2012. This is when shit hits the fan. A post goes up on her page and it reads, I must admit that I've been avoiding everyone, including my customers. I'm working to earn money and refund customers' money right now. The Steelers' parents have agreed to give me my money back, but not too soon. Therefore, I must take several jobs and commissions at once to earn enough money. I am truly sorry for venting and ranting too, but now I found an online venting site and it's really good to let out. No one makes a big deal out of it. All in all, I'm truly sorry for everything. So a couple of things. From this, we can see that maybe there was a previous post that was up that she deleted or edited because it alludes to information that we do not know about. Only people who were there as it was happening would know the details of that post. Number 2, allegedly someone stole money from her. Number 3, she vented about something which was not made clear in this post, but from what I gathered in the comments, it was about attempting. This is where I ask you to take the time out of this video. Again, trigger warning, protect yourself and your well-being. Do not feel like you have to watch this video. Yeah, in the description there will be some prevention resources, including Indonesian hotline. Number 4, all of this was either one post for commissions that she did not follow through on a large scale, or it was like a culmination of previous failures to follow up on posts all coming to a head. Like I had stated earlier, people are commenting under her post like, hey, you still haven't done mine. Hey, when are you going to get back to me? Hey, it's been a hot minute. When am I going to get my commissions? So yeah, regardless, the reaction was swift and finally critical. Felicia had garnered a lot of online support in the form of watchers or followers. What I saw when I was doing research was just a lot of support for her. On July 13, 2011, she even celebrated 6,000 watchers. So she had a community. What I saw in the wake of this post was people being critical of her. The rose-colored glasses had finally been taken off and enough was enough. Don't get me wrong, there were still some people who were still very supportive of her and they were quick to support her and to comfort her, but there was a lot of people who called BS. So firstly, some people ended up not getting their commissions for years. Chelsea2, yeah, remember them, that same Chelsea2, they got theirs after 6 years, 3 months, and 11 days. They counted. Yeah, 6 years, 3 months, 11 days. That is insane. 6 years ago, I was 14. That is insane to me. That is completely like unacceptable. Chelsea2 said that they had tried to contact Felicia, that Felicia had made promises many times to refund Chelsea2, but that had never happened, that she'd ghost her for months on end. So it's easy to see how weeks turned into months, which turned into years, but it is just completely crazy that it took that long. At that point, it's probably easier and way less of a burden to just like refund the money. Like you too, would you not be tired? Like holding that much, like you're holding someone's money, holding someone's commission for that long time over your head. Wouldn't you just feel like a breath of fresh air to just, just take your money and be going? It's just like to have that hanging over you for more than half of a decade. That is really something.
That's more money. I can pay it, but you're asking me that money by force, so I won't pay you that money because you're cheap. You don't have class.
But also, it was becoming increasingly clear in the comments that people were complaining about 2 separate things: the lack of commissions and something else. We're only a third into all of this, but I promise it's going to go a little bit quicker from here on out. So yeah, that was the Deviant debacle. Now it's time for... So around the same time the Deviant Art debacle was going on in 2012, Felicia had another problem on her hands. CG had a shop called Momotaku Shop, and she would essentially sell like cosplay starter packs, which you had to pre-order. So it'll be things like wigs, costumes, props, etc. On the shop's Facebook page, it said that a minimum of 50% down payment had to be paid first, and then the rest of the payments could be split up into a maximum of 5 subsequent payments. Long story short, customers paid her and they didn't get their product. And I don't know for sure, but I can imagine that some customers would have paid that 50% of down payment and they may probably have paid some of the other subsequent payments as well, if not all of the payments. The shop was actually put on an Indonesian cybercrime blacklist in 2013. So there's that. But yeah, you got all these people in the shop's Facebook comments being like, hey, it's been months. I haven't really gotten my items. What's going on? And what was really sad was seeing Felicia's assistants try to put out the flames of the fires that she had caused. If you go to the comment section of her last post on Deviant Art, yeah, we got to cast our mind back there. These two assistants, Pichan and X-Girl, the latter literally had to make a Deviant Art account just to get in contact with Felicia. So they were in the comment section like, hey, oh my gosh, we didn't know you were going through all of this. We didn't know you were dealing with this. We're so sorry that you were tempted. So they were consoling her. Again, like I said, that post alluded to. So they were consoling her. They were like, hey, we need your help. Why are you on Deviant Arts when we have really angry customers? They were essentially begging her. One of them, X-Girl, who was allegedly a high school student at the time, even trying to sort out the customers' like refunds in the comments of that DeviantArt post. So on the Facebook, the assistants wrote the final post as well on the 15th of October 2012, which roughly translated to, hey, we just got news that our owner has been going through things. Here's the link to our DeviantArt journal to see for yourself. We, the staff, are confused. The owner has been hard to contact since September, but we wanted to let you, the customers, know so that misinformation doesn't spread. And that was the very last post on that Facebook page from Momotaku Co-shop. So in a very heartbreaking way, the assistants ended up taking way more accountability for all of this than Felicia did. So you're probably asking, okay, what was Felicia doing? What did she do to alleviate this situation? What did she do to rectify all of this? Well, Facebook banned her IP address. Facebook banned her IP address. That was what was allegedly said by her. That's why she wasn't able to, go and set things straight. Her Facebook IP address was blocked. So that was her reasoning. I'm not saying that Facebook doesn't block IP addresses. I googled it and it does happen. I'm just saying that if it did happen, couldn't you just, I don't know, maybe use a VPN? Maybe go to another geographical location. I don't know, I'm not very tech savvy, so you tell me how you could like circumvent that kind of thing. Maybe Facebook is way stricter on that kind of things. Maybe they really crack down on those kinds of things, but I don't know. So you guys tell me in the comments whether that would be like a plausible way to circumvent all of that. But I mean, your IP address got blocked for months, years, and this is something I'll touch on a bit later, but you start to see excuses if you're being generous, because there's things that could have been done. I think even the IP address thing, maybe getting a VPN, like I said, or I don't know, her assistants managed to get through to her through DeviantArt. I don't know why she didn't just relay the message herself. I don't know why it had to be said through the voice of her own assistants, why they wrote that comment, why she didn't just say, okay guys, I can't get through to this because my IP address has been blocked, but this is the message I want you to put up on the Facebook page for me in my stead, in my voice. Sign it from me, the owner, saying what's going on, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to make this better, etc., etc. But I know, what do I know? So yeah, okay, so no products were being sent out. People have paid and they're very upset. The logical next thing would be to refund everyone back their money. Felicia couldn't do that. Because allegedly she transferred the money to a childhood high school friend of hers who used to live in Indonesia but is now working and living in China. And that friend allegedly made off with the money, and she was trying to get in contact with the girl's parents to get that money back. Okay, so incredulity aside, if you wanted to believe that this was true, which, by the way, all of what I'm saying is alleged. Like I can't speak if it was true, if it wasn't true. But if this was true, where is the proof? A lot of people in the Facebook comments were like, okay, so you say this happened, show us the proof of the bank transfer. Show us the proof of you sending money to this friend in China. Show us the proof of that. Like, that should be easy enough to produce. Every single bank transfer should have the day in which that sum of money left your account. It should have who it went to. It should say the date that it went out of your account, and vice versa if money is coming to you. So people are very much not buying it, and I wouldn't either, because it's a simple enough thing to show. and she failed to do that. At least I couldn't find any further post of her like showing proof of this, that this did happen. Now, it is important to know that some people did get the refund. Some people even posted like proof of the refund, some of them even coming from one of the assistants, ex-girl. So I have to give credit where credit is due. I'm not sure if everyone got their refunds though. There's a Facebook group for the victims of Momotaku shop with 137 people on there. So there's that. Take that as you will. So now I've gotten to the last major conflict, finally. So the gist of this is that she opened up another pre-order for merch, but this time it was for her Webtoon 304th study room. So the same thing happens again as it did in Momotaku. People pre-order, but they don't get their product or the refund. And people are obviously upset because this is the same artist that did the whole Momotaku thing, and it's still in the same like Indonesian market, so people know this artist and they know what they're doing. So there's a Facebook group that was created in December of 2017 which has 632 members, but it is a private Facebook group, so I wasn't able to get any updates on that. Allegedly she scammed 300 plus people, that is all alleged, with total damages of $2,500 allegedly. So she did post an apology / explanation up on her Webtoon. What allegedly happened was that she got overwhelmed. Her family offered to help her organize things and they failed in that regard as well. Merch wasn't being sent out. 2 printing companies that she used to make the merchandise also failed to make the product, and at that time she hadn't received the goods nor a refund from those 2 printing companies. Again, I don't know if people eventually got refunded or if they eventually got their product, as the Facebook group is private, but to give benefit of the doubt and to use, track record, I want to assume that some people received either one or none. So I think some people either received like their product or they received more. I'm more inclined to believe that they received a refund or they just didn't receive anything at all. But that is just me assuming. What was interesting though about this apology was that she allegedly posted it on her English webtoon, our mega leader name, to an English market and to English readers who do not know what's going on, who were not affected by any of this in the same way that her Indonesian readers in 304th study room would have been affected and who were greatly impacted by all that happened. I mean, the merch pre-order was for 304th study room. Back to the Momotaku Meltdown, because she also referenced this in this apology allegedly. She also said that the suppliers she was using rejected PayPal, and so she had to send money directly to a bank in China. She asked a friend to help. The friend didn't deliver the money to the suppliers and they had to refund their customers. This is more or less what is consistent with what was said earlier, except, not saying that the friend allegedly made up with money, but I guess that's semantics. I don't know how important that is to tell your customers that, but okay. But yeah, another thing to note is that she came across a bit woe is me. The whole thing, it's like, oh, this is my self-punishment thing. She was like, oh, I don't want to make money off of this anymore. This is my self-punishment. This is it. But to be fair, as far as apologies go, this was okay. This was okay. Accountability, yeah, I guess she held herself accountable, but I don't know how accountable you are when you post your apology on a webtoon that, with an audience that is not affected by what was going on. And I don't know how accountable you can hold yourself when you eventually deleted that apology / explanation. So there is that. Take with that how you will.
So editing TT over here, and I literally just realized that in the apology, especially in the part where it says, we heard you've been scamming since 2012, the heading of that, I realized that she didn't even take accountability for like the Deviant things and the unfulfilled commissions, because people did not get those commissions for years. People did not get those commissions for a long time. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't good in the context of what was going on. I guess maybe we're talking about pre-orders in the apology, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting to note.
So honorable mention, she apparently stole another artist's work that is alleged, but that was confirmed by the artist Brillchrist, who said that Felicia sold a damage-free sample of Brillchrist body pillow at normal full price when the artist had not even started shipping it. Allegedly, there was also a skincare pre-order thing, but I couldn't find any mention of that. So I don't know, take that with a huge grain of salt. I couldn't find any mention of it elsewhere. So yeah, allegedly she faked that she was a different race / ethnicity at some point, saying that she was Latin or Chinese. For what reason, I do not know. Her sister also fell out with her allegedly. I don't know how important that is, but allegedly her sister had to pay back a lot of Felicia's debt. And she was basically like, oh, I'm done with you, etc, etc. Yeah, so there was just a bunch of like lies and inconsistencies in her different like stories and things. A lot of excuses that were being used, her anxiety, her IP being blocked, PayPal blocking her depression, etc. All the incidents that happened to them is a lot, like a series of unfortunate events. A lot. Getting kicked out of her house allegedly, chronic illness, needing an eye operation, kidney failure so serious that she needed dialysis. That isn't to say that none of this isn't true, it's just a lot. But and again, I do want to take the time out to say, I don't know, it's not so completely like a productive conversation to have to say that someone is lying about their mental health. That's not what I want to shell on this page. I just don't think having a conversation about people lying about their mental health issues is a productive conversation to be having, quite honestly, especially when people with their own mental health issues feel like they are making their own problems up, or that they wouldn't be believed when they come out and ask for help. So yeah, I don't think the mental health issues is anything to be debated about. I think I believe her in that sense as well. And I think going back to her page, there was just like a lot of like pain and anguish. I think she was definitely going through a lot of things. So yeah, I do want to say that there's a lot of like shifting of blame at times. It was her family or her mom that messed up, her friends messed up, her sisters messed up. To be fair, if it is true that other people messed up, I get not wanting to die on the hill for someone else's mistakes. I completely get that. But at the same time, your fans and your readers, they don't know your family, they don't know your friends, they know you. In this situation, you are the face and the name that they entrusted, so it's on you to make sure that things run smoothly. They can't really hold your sisters and your family and your friends. They can't hold their trousers. They can't say, oh yeah, I love, Felicia's sister, I love her, she's a great artist, I'm ordering from. No, they can't do that. So yeah, so to conclude, if you want my take on all of this, obviously alleged scams are bad. She's obviously really talented and really charismatic. I don't read Omega lead on him, but the art looks good. And honestly, the girl had a dedicated following at almost each stage of her career. And honestly, props to her. The fact that she was able to like cultivate that amount of following is incredible. I can give props where props are due, like her Deviant Art, her Momotaku shop, her Webtoon 304 study room, and her Webtoon right now, our mega lead on him. I have to give props where props are due because she did that. I also do think that she was young when the first Deviant Art / Momotaku thing went down. She was around 19 or 20. So now I'm 20. I turned 20 recently-ish in November. So I know about both experiences, about being 19 and being 20. 19 more so than 20, but yeah, at this age you know not to scam people. You do know not to scam people. But I also know at this age you're also really like ambitious, and I know a thing or two about being like overwhelmed by things. So I think she has a true passion for what she does, and I think people resonate with not only her art but with her as well. I think they found her really relatable, and I think that's how she has managed to get a dedicated audience at each stage of her career. Like looking through those Deviant Art posts, it's obvious she had a tight-knit community. I think there's truth in some of her excuses. Reading through her old Deviant Art posts, I think there was a lot of like pain there. I think she was going through a lot, and I think she did really want to like share her merch and monetize her interests. And I think artists deserve to make livable money off of their art, but I think the inconsistencies and the excuses, like not being able to produce a bank transaction, that you sent X amount of money to X friend living in China. I think that those kinds of things, they start to add up. Taking extended periods of time to refund / fulfill an order, ghosting customers, deactivating your Twitter and Instagram profiles when you get caught allegedly, leaving customers in the lurch and not updating them, leaving your assistant to scramble, explaining and apologizing on a webtoon that doesn't have anything to do with the audience that was allegedly scammed. Those things start to add up, and it does sound sketchy. So that was a long time ago, and she has stopped doing all of that from what I can see. The last blow up was in 2018, so that is a relief. She's very much going strong with her mega leader named Webtoon, and I think that's going well and that is successful. Will I be reading it? I don't know. But yeah. So honorable mention to Chelsea too. Their name popped up at least like 3 times during my research of all of this. So yeah, they went through it. They were in the trenches through all of this. I also did not know about any of this going on until someone told me. Someone told me in my TikTok comment, and thank you to that person as well. So it wasn't common knowledge, and I think she was banking on that. I think the creator was banking on that, changing names, addressing certain audiences. I'm sure most international readers, i.e. readers that are not in Indonesia, I'm sure they didn't know about all of this either. So yeah, it was a shock, but it was very much a rabbit hole for me. Big shout out to the commenter that brought my attention to all of this. I really wouldn't have known. Thank you to the Tumblr posts and Twitter threads that really helped me piece through all of this together, because again, this is years. I'm piecing back stuff that happened long as time ago. So yeah, this is very interesting to do. I enjoyed it. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Hopefully I get this out really soon. It's I've tried to like do this video. This is probably like my 4th or 5th time trying to film this exact same video, and I've done the script since last year. This script has been done since ages ago. I've done this video. I think I did this script since like October or November of last year. So it's been a hot second, and I do want to say thank you for still watching my videos. I always see like the notifications when people like comment on my stuff still, and my last video was 3 months ago. So thank you so much. Hopefully I'm more consistent from here on out, but we shall see. A girl is busy. But yeah, thank you again. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, bye. Oh, and happy new year. I forgot to say, this is probably going to be my first video of the year. Happy new year, and hopefully I'm more consistent this year. And yeah, bye. I have to like say that a lot of this was already like accumulated information. I found a lot of this on Twitter. I found a lot of this on like people made like threads on Tumblr. So yeah, I had to also go through a lot of like past posts on Deviant Art. I also had to Google Translate became my friend. Google Translate and me were like this. I have too many screenshots. Can I tell you, I have 10 pages worth of a script. This is it. 4,056 words, if I'm not mistaken. 4,056 words. That's effort and time that could have gone into like my dissertation. That's a third of my dissertation. 4,000 words. 4,000 words. That's insane. But it was fun. It was very, very, very fun. But yeah, I hope you like this video. I hope this video turns out okay, because God, this is the second time I filmed it fully, and the amount of times I've attempted to film this already is crazy. I was building this script from like months ago, so I hope it's all fine, because I'm really not in the mood. And yeah, so again, if you like Webtoon stuff, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I'm hoping to post more frequently, but you know. But yeah, I also just think it's so ironic that my last video was like, oh, why do Webtoon creators stop producing? Why do Webtoon creators, drop off? And here I am. I dropped off for like more than a month, more than 2 months actually. I think it's coming up on like 70 days since my last video.
And by the time I eventually edit this, if I do, fingers crossed that the editing process goes well, because I've already filmed this video. But there was a humming sound in the background that was so annoying. We shall see. But yeah, bye.